the party has found themselves in Candlekeep. They were trying to investigate these followers of Akma, the god of knowledge, who were stealing forbidden knowledge from the library. They brought this information about these keepers to the head librarian, who told them, "Yeah, I'll help you figure out what's going on. Just give me a moment to speak with the guards. They'll help settle this." But the party didn't want to wait any longer, so they took it upon themselves to find out what was happening. In the process, they found out that the Althea, the young wizard student in Candlekeep, was actually one of these followers of Akma, who was trying to tempt them to become a follower themselves. Party didn't like this, so they decided to follow her, find out where she was going, and they found the rest of the followers of Akma. They killed all the followers. When they brought this to the attention of the guards didn't like it. Of course, kind of broke some rules.
Oops.
So they're being kicked out of Candlekeep. That's where we left off.
We didn't mean to.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the guy that I have on my shoulder, because it's been 2 weeks and he's been on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You don't want to carry him around.
I'm not going to sit him on the table. I'm just going to undo my arm and let him roll off.
So the guards gave the group until sundown to leave, or they will be imprisoned. But if they leave by then, they'll just be banished.
Where are we exactly right now, as far as within Candlekeep?
You are currently in the catacombs, where you were showing the guards what you had done.
Right. And please, I'm so sorry, Duro, but can you please remind me of that library woman? What is her name? I can never remember.
Her name is Kella.
Kella. And Kella is not with the guards in the catacombs with us.
She is, yes.
Oh, okay, great.
She and... Let's see. I don't remember what the guard's name was. It's Garrett. Garrett's the lead guard here at Candlekeep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Outstanding. Sinead's gonna kind of look to Kella and say, now I would like to ask, is there anything that we can do to sort of atone for this?
We
did help you.
Sorry, but these are the rules of Candlekeep.
Right? And I understand that, but we sort of did your job for you. You sort of took a good long while dealing with the necromancers, and they were in fact necromancers because I killed undead.
There was intended to be a full scope investigation, but you decided to take it upon yourselves.
Well, I think I already told you this a few times, but I've been blessed by Kelmvor to kill necromancers, and so that's sort of kind of my job. So I kind of have to do it. It's not really my choice. it's the choice of Kamvor, and who are we to argue with the deities?
The deities have their purpose in this world, but the rules of Candlekeep serve their own purpose.
Are you telling me that your laws are higher than the laws of Kamvor? I'm trying to be persuasive. Can I roll persuasion?
Okay, go ahead.
Outstanding. Oh, God. Never had I need a roll to be good. Ooh, it's a 17 on the die. Hold on. Plus 3. So, dirty 20.
I am already making exceptions here, allowing you to roam free despite your actions. Garrett and I have already decided to banish you, lest a horror fate fall upon you.
Krigga will just speak up briefly. Can we come back at some later time and address this banishment again and perhaps appeal it?
It can be appealed, yes. So it will take some time for evidence to be gathered. If you wish to appeal, you must have a written statement. And it must be notarized as well.
Is there any time frame in which we would have to have that appeal completed or submitted to you?
That would be up to Garrett here. She will turn to Garrett. It will take some time, as Kella had mentioned. Come back in 2 weeks, or have your appealment sent by carrier within that time, and we will see what may happen. But as for now, your banishment still stands.
Sinead would like to look at the party and say, well, I have a proposition of how we can spend the next 2 weeks.
Aren't we to go to Cormyr?
Well, will we make it to Cormyr before sundown? If we travel with this woman?
I think it's quite further than that.
It's the wizard who's going to be. Is she doing it by teleportation, Duro? And
she didn't specify.
okay,
You can go ask her.
and Sinead will look at Nimue and say, right. But if we can't get to Cormyr by sundown, well, leave here by sundown to go to Cormyr. My proposition is that maybe we spend some time going to Skullcrag, because apparently there's some strange things going on there, and that's kind of important to me as well.
Was this a part of our agreement in the beginning?
Well, not entirely.
I see.
But I'm more asking as a friend than in a business sense.
And do you think that these things take precedence over a Draco Lich?
Not technically, no, but I just would like to leave the option there.
She looks at Killa. I do believe that we must be allowed to at least speak to the mage who summoned us here.
Do what you must, but be sure you are gone by sundown.
Of course. It seems as though we have plenty of other places that we could go. I believe we said all that needs to be said here. Should we go?
Indeed.
Right, you.
I imagine we would head to the mage to speak with her at this point.
Yes. Archmage Elenara.
Elenara.
Yeah.
Sounds like she has a high comeliness.
Yeah, what's her comeliness, Duro?
At least a 3.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Not good.
Oh, okay, so she's a bog witch. Great.
Okay, got it. Well, he said at least a 3, so it could be like a 20. Who's to say?
Yeah. Okay, so you head over to Archmage Elenara's abode, where you find her studying several books on her desk.
Mordian. Nimue is going to approach the desk first. Excuse me. Eleonora?
Oh, yes. Oh, hello.
You're the woman who's to see our transport to Cormyr?
Yes, I will ensure your safe arrival in Cormyr.
Well, some things have arisen, and we need to go a bit sooner than planned. Tonight, to be precise. Could this be arranged?
It can be arranged, yes, though preparations will be rather quick.
I see. How soon, then, could we leave?
Give me half an hour, and we'll have you sent.
Wonderful. She's gonna look back to the party. Well, I guess that solves that. Eleonora, do you know who we're supposed to speak with when we arrive at Cormyr?
To ensure your safe and quick arrival to Cormyr, I have arranged for you to arrive in the capital of Suzail. Once there, you will travel north to Evening Star, where you'll find Lady Asmura.
And she knows of the issues we must face?
Of course, she is the one who may be aware of them.
Very well, then. Well, if nobody has any further questions, then I'd say we should probably go ready our things.
Right.
Probably eat before we leave.
In the cafeteria?
Oh, yeah. Is there other places to eat?
I suppose you could go to the tavern. Some tavern food.
I'll suggest that to the party.
may eat if you wish. I can gather your things, if there are any in the room. I can say I don't have much of an appetite currently.
You would know that he usually keeps all his stuff pretty much on him at all times.
Yeah, I think Krigga's just going to go back to his room and gather up his pack and be ready to go. He's not going to bother with eating.
Yeah, so would Sinead.
He does not want to be anywhere near this place at sundown.
Probably for the best.
I will run and get a quick bite to eat and come back.
Yeah, what time of day is it right now, dude? What kind of time crunch are we on?
Just to make Marzander hurry, it is about 31 minutes from sundown.
Cool. They got like French fries or something I can just pick up.
Yeah, but they're old. They've been sitting out.
Yeah.
That's
a little too crispy.
So you'd find like fish and chips because they're next to the ocean. Why not?
all right.
Okay, that's two copper pieces. Okay. So you go back to the cells you were sleeping in and gathered your belongings. And arrive back at Elenara's room, where she has intricate magical symbols etched on the floor. Well then, are you ready to leave for Suzail?
I believe so.
As ready as we're ever going to be.
But before we go, I think perhaps I should make you aware of the situation here in Candlekeep.
Oh?
You know the Order of the Keepers.
Yes, they're a very strange group, but they are well regarded within the followers of Agma.
Yes, well, I do believe that our situation in Cormyr is, unfortunately, directly tied to these keepers. Seems as though they've been handing out books, restricted things, down in the crypts beneath the city. Just thought you ought to know, as a mage here in Candlekeep.
I thank you for this information. Be sure that you inform Lady Asmura of these findings as well.
The woman we're to meet in Cormyr.
Yes.
We will.
Before I send you off, she pulls out a small pouch. Here, within this bag, you'll find your supplies for your journey. She hands the bag. Well, she just holds the bag out in front of her, waiting for whoever takes it.
Marzander will grab it.
Okay. In there, you'll find your food and the partial payment for accepting this dangerous expedition. So you'll find 5 rations each and 1,500 gold.
Each?
No. 5 rations each, but 1,500 gold in total.
Okay. Welcome in, raiders. Hello, Lord Gasumba. Thank you so much for the raid. Good to see everybody. We're just getting into it this evening. Have not missed much. We are about to teleport to Cormyr. Go figure out what the hell's going on there.
Yes. After being banished from Candlekeep.
We didn't do anything bad. We were helping them.
Why do you got to keep throwing that in our faces, man?
Sinead is literally bound by duty. She's got to do it.
It's like you make one mistake and it's not even a mistake and it haunts you forever.
Sinead will tell you straight up it is not a mistake. She meant to do those things.
Oh, when you were talking about what you done, yeah, Krigga had that proud look. He did.
Oh,
So they killed some followers of Hukma, the keeper or the god of knowledge. They were bad guys, but they didn't wait for the police to be there to
we are the police.
assess the situation.
Oh, cleric. She can't kill necromancers. They necromanced.
No, they were giving out necromancy information, but they weren't doing it.
There was undead there.
Oh, that's true.
So they necromanced.
All right, you're right.
We were doing them a favor, okay?
Yeah, there was something I forgot in the recap. So, and Greet mentioned earlier, these followers gave information to a young woman who has a beautiful face on one side and a completely scarred, unrecognizable other side of her face. And this woman was also in the dream they had at the beginning of the story. So,
Wait a minute, isn't that how Nimue looks now?
God damn it.
Like
I'm just
Harvey
extra
Dent.
crispy. I'm well done. Don't worry about it.
okay, let me find my note. What do I need? Okay, so you're being sent off to Cormyr, and the capital of Suzail. As you enter Suzail, the once great capital of Cormyr, you can't help but notice the signs of neglect and despair. The streets are littered with trash and debris, and buildings that were once grand and imposing now show signs of neglect, with peeling paint, broken windows, and crumbling stone. The people you see on the streets look tired and worn, and many of them seem to be going about their business with a sense of resignation rather than the bustling energy you might expect from a city of this size. As you make your way through the city, you can't help but feel a sense of foreboding. Something is not right here, and you can sense it in the air. The once proud royal palace, which looms over the city, now looks like a shadow of its former self, with broken windows and overgrown gardens. The market district, which used to be a hub of activity, is now filled with empty storefronts and abandoned stalls. Even the temple district, which used to be a place of worship and solace, now feels neglected and forgotten. So that's what you see when you first arrive.
Sinead will sort of look to would Sinead have any knowledge of this place, having at once or somewhat recently being a great city?
Yes, so through your studies, you would know that Cormyr was not even that far in the distant past one of the more wealthy countries in all the land. So it's a very strange sight to be seen.
And she'll very quietly say to the rest of the party, something's obviously gone horribly wrong here.
Yes. I can't say what I expected to see, but this is not it.
I definitely fallen upon hard times.
Perhaps we should make our way with haste to the woman we are supposed to meet.
I agree.
As you make your way through the winding alleys of Suzale, you suddenly hear a commotion up ahead. As you approach the source of the noise, you see a group of thugs surrounding a lone figure, clearly outnumbered.
The thugs could be the good guys.
Do they look like necromancers?
They look like just tough guys.
Okay.
Just tough guys.
Tough guys.
Tough guys, yeah.
Yes.
How many thugs?
There are 4 of them.
Krigga's gonna just walk up right behind one and just rip him right off, whoever they're beating, and say, "Stand off now! Stand off!"
I'll follow with my hand on my rapier.
Sinead's got her mace out, ready to bonk.
Or just spray on their face.
You, with your quick thinking, the solo figure standing amongst the group, the one being circled, he darts out from the fray and makes a break for it.
Is he breaking in my direction since I created the hole in the circle?
Yes, he does not stop though. He just keeps running.
Right. I'd like to try to grab him, but I'm already grabbing the other dude, so I can't do that.
I'll try to reach out and get him. So you want to hear both sides of the stories, I'm assuming?
Okay. You can try do a little grapple.
Do you have a nabbing skill?
It's just a grapple.
What would that be under?
So it's your athletics against their athletics or acrobatics.
I'll take acrobatics.
No, you are the athletics.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not fun.
They get to choose.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to roll it. That's a 9. 9 altogether.
Okay, so you're able to grab him just narrowly.
These long, lanky arms. As I grab him, I'll. You're not free to go yet either.
Bugger off. I have a place at the B.
As do we. Who are you? And why are they surrounding you?
Why don't you ask them?
Very well. And I will drag him back over to everybody.
Okay, so you drag him over. Now, Krigga, what did you say to the men that were surrounding him?
I just yelled out, "Hold!"
Oh, okay.
I was trying to stun him into just freezing for a second.
Okay. Well, you distracted them enough for him to jump out, and then Marzander grabbed the guy.
Now, what's all the fuss about here?
One of the thugs, who you could assume is the leader of the bunch, says, "Boss is looking for him. He's upset him."
What's he done?
What's not he done?
So you're thieves then?
We don't call ourselves thieves.
Makes no difference what you call yourselves.
Now then, hand him over.
Krigga's going to look to the three members of his parties and ask, do we need any of these five?
I believe we have more pressing matters to attend to.
Indeed, I'm not normally one to watch a 4-on-1 beatdown or whatever. However, there are times where things are just simply none of our business.
Nimway's gonna step out from behind Mars, where she basically lives, and look at the man that Mars is holding captive right now. Can you give us a good reason to not hand you over to these men?
I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you believing them over me?
I believe nobody. I am curious. What do they think you did?
Well, I did steal from them several times, but that was in the past. I'm a changed man.
Can I insight check him?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's a natural one. I got distracted. It looked like he had crumbs on his mouth or something. I was trying to figure out what he was eating. Nice.
So you have no idea whether he is being honest or not. You just kind of let's say you get distracted because you see a rat nearby.
Rat.
And what is it that you stole from them?
Well, you see, I was once a member of the Thieves Guild, but I had a change of heart. But that does not mean my enemies are no longer enemies.
Certainly one doesn't join a thieves guild thinking that they can magically change their mind.
Look around you. This place. It's the only way to survive.
I see. What made you leave them then?
Those reasons are my own. But I can assure you I'm a changed man.
Are you?
They're gonna hurt me.
Of course they are. You broke an oath Do you know what it means to break an oath?
Of course. It's the only way that the Thieves Guilds run these days.
Of course. It seems very stupid of you. I would like to insight check him as well, if I could.
Okay.
Please roll better.
That's a dirty 20 for me.
You can tell he's pretty genuine in what he's saying. He's not, he's making eye contact with you while you're speaking with him. He's, ensuring that, his voice is, convincing, I suppose.
Well, if you are a changed man, I guess that's good for you. Though, I do believe that there are consequences for breaking oaths. She's gonna look to the party. I feel it's not our business to meddle in this situation. I think we should let him go. He dug his own grave.
I will let hold my grasp and let him go.
Yeah, Krigga won't interfere anymore either.
Still has her mace out, but she's just
Ah!
well, no, her remark would be I don't meddle with thieves, so
Thieves.
Tease. Nimue is gonna look back to the group of thugs and say, he can continue to be your problem, though I am curious. This place looks quite sad. Do you know of the things that trouble Cormyr?
Let's see. So the head thug will look at you and say, "See who's alien? What he used to be? See, he's gone to the pits ever since Queen Raja took the throne. From her missing brother Rover. Streets are filled with scum like him. Villainy. Guards ain't doing nothing.
Queen
Except
Raja?
us. Yes, Queen Raja.
Can you describe her to us? What does she look like?
I thought I had this written down somewhere.
You should always be prepared for Nimue to ask you about 3 million questions. Sorry, Duro.
She has long and regal hair with piercing green eyes. Slender, about average height for a human. Strong jawline.
No distinguishing marks about her.
No, can't say so. Though people don't usually see her nowadays.
I see. ask you one more question, and then we will leave so that you may continue your business with this man. Have you seen a woman? Her face half mangled. I feel she would stick out quite well if you knew.
Can't say I have.
Very well, then. She's gonna look back to the party. Do any of you have any questions for these men before we press on?
Krigga's gonna pipe up. Did you say that she has a missing brother?
Yes. Former King Rover.
And what happened to this brother?
No one knows.
How long has he been missing?
I'd say about 5 years now. He just up and left one day. That's what the story says, at least.
Okay, this is going to be far-fetched, Duro, so just tell me I'm dumb. Feel free to. Is it possible to like gauge the decay of the city based on 5 years of a king being gone and see if that time frame would correlate or not?
Yeah, sure. A city could become what it is now within 5 years.
Okay.
Without like proper maintenance.
Interesting. Interesting time frame, Krigga will note. That's all the questions I have.
Did you hand over the this one guy to them?
I just kind of let him go from where I was
okay.
at. So as soon as Nimue said,
That's more entertaining anyway. It's a race now.
Yeah, okay. So these guys, after talking with you, will run after the guy.
Oh, seems as though things in Cormyr have become quite dire indeed.
Indeed. It is possible the missing brother could be a connection to the demise of this town.
Who knows? I don't.
Well, now you're just lying. But I respect that. Shall we go look for our contact?
Yes, I believe so.
So it is dark out now. So you could stay for the night if you so wished, or you could go out there in the wilds.
Might be a good idea to hunker down for the evening.
rest, yeah.
Yes, I do believe I need my rest. I'm not feeling so well. I still only have 4 hit points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this rest opportunity to use some hit dice.
Okay, so you will wander around the city until you find a spot to stay. First one you'll find is you find a 2-story tall building with a sloping roof, designed and stylized like a green dragon.
Fancy.
So you could stay here, or you could look for somewhere else.
Nimue gonna look to Mars to lead the way inside.
All right. Oh, is this like a? Are people actually in there, or is this like abandoned looking?
It is currently inhabited.
I will begin to walk in.
Okay.
Don't worry, Mars. We're right behind you.
Krigga will literally be right behind him.
Nate will take up the rear. That's fine.
Inside, the building is dimly lit with a large common room dominated by a large bar. The walls are lined with tables and chairs, and a fireplace provides warmth and light in colder months. On a sign, you can see that they serve a variety of foods and drinks, including ale, wine, mead, and simple fare like roasted meat, stews, and bread. They also have rooms for rent. You can rent a room for 2 silver a night. There's also a bard currently playing on the stage. And you see other patrons around. Despite the general festive atmosphere, the tavern also has quite a few rough individuals amongst the crowd. But the staff looks like they're able to keep everything under control.
All right. I'll walk up to the bar and ask for. Well, I guess before that, I'll turn back and say 2 rooms to the party.
That would be fine, I think, here.
All right. Now I'll walk up to the bar.
Okay.
And say we would like 2 rooms for the night, please.
All right, so behind the bar, you see a young halfling. With a nimble frame, curly auburn hair, and bright green eyes. Two rooms, you say?
Yes.
That'll be 4 silver pieces, please. Can I get you anything else for your stay?
I'll turn to the party. Any food or drink before we go to the rooms?
Sinead will look to Krigga and say, "An ale?"
Yeah, Krigga's nodding his head already. Yep.
I wouldn't mind a glass of wine.
All right. 3 ales and a wine also, please. So
Okay.
that be all together.
Okay, so the halfling brings out your drinks and your food, I think. That'll be like 1 silver. Okay, let me see. All right, so As you're consuming your food and drink, behind Mars, a man approaches. Let's see. It's a tall man. Long auburn hair. It's very fit. He's carrying a sword at his waist. As he's approaching the bar, he bumps into you quite forcefully.
Bumps into me.
Yeah.
I will turn and not too aggressively say, watch it. And then I'll begin to walk to the table.
Okay.
Not trying to be like too aggressive.
Why not?
I feel like Bones didn't hear that he was hot.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I
He
did.
turns around like, don't yell at my boyfriend.
I heard. I was being polite for now.
The man puts his hand on his sword. You got a problem?
I do not have a problem, but if you do, then we can figure it out.
Why don't we take this outside then?
Can I interject? I'm done being polite now. Sinead's gonna put her hand up to sort of diffuse the situation, and say, right? No need for that now. Mars, why don't you just come have a sit here? And sir, I'm so sorry for my friend. He's very rude. And she sort of gives like the biggest like doe eyes that she can give.
I would still just be like kind of face to face with him. Also putting my hand on my rapier.
The man shakes his head and continues on ordering his drink.
I was gonna say, how tall is this guy?
Um,
Down at him, right?
How tall is he, Duro?
Bones fucking sweating over there.
How much are his muscles bulging out of his
Oh
armor?
yes, tell us more about his bulge.
Yeah, about that.
let's say 7 feet tall.
Woo!
So I'm basically eye to eye to him.
Sinead's
Just a little bit taller.
frothing at the mouth.
Krigga's proud look has gone away.
Don't embarrass me, Dad.
I don't think you're the one being embarrassed.
At this moment, you hear the door to the tavern open up as it crashes into the wall. You see the man you encountered earlier enter the bar and quickly close the door and hide behind the wall as if trying to hide.
This was the one that I grabbed.
Yes.
Okay.
The man you were just encountered notices this, and he yells out, "Cedric, my boy, come over here. Let's have a drink."
Nimue looks to Mars. Well, I do believe we're going to have a problem.
Looks that way.
Do we have our drinks yet, Duro?
Yeah.
In anticipation of a problem that perhaps could come up, Krigga's just going to go ahead and down his entire drink. Just to be safe.
Yeah, unhinges his maw.
Gotta be safe.
Yep.
Safety first.
Priorities, man.
Nimue looks to Sinead. You wouldn't happen to have any ways to, heal me?
Sinead does, in fact, and she will nod and say, right, hold still now. And she's gonna put her hands on Nimue, and you will get 2 hit points. I would imagine it's sort of like anticlimactic when she's like puts her hands on you to heal you with using healing hands. And she'll say, don't worry, I've got more, don't worry. If you don't mind just waiting for a moment, give me 1 second. And she's sort of like kind of panicking. I can't use healing word as a was it ritually, can I, Duro?
You have to spend 10 minutes doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have 10 minutes?
If you sit there for a while, sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and use the spell slot. And she's going to cast Healing Word, which you will get a D4 plus my spellcasting modifier. Do you want to roll it, or do you want me to roll it?
You roll it. You're the one casting.
I was asking Creep. I don't know if she wanted
Yeah,
to roll
you roll it. You're
Yeah,
casting
okay.
it.
Okay. Hey! Okay, so that's not so bad. So that's a 3 plus 5, so 8.
With the 2, that's 10 total?
Mhm.
Awesome. I'm almost back to full then. That's good. That makes me feel a little better. Thank you, Sinead. I appreciate this.
You're welcome. I just hope this doesn't come to blows. And she sort of like eyes the 2 over there. And she'll have a little googly eye over this other man who's very tall and handsome.
Nimue is going to take a seat at the bar and take up her wine glass, and just kind of watch the 2 men very closely.
Okay, so you hear this conversation between the guy you know now is Cedric and the man you just bumped into, Mars Ander. Let's see. So Cedric speaks to the man. He says, "Eridan, it's so good to see you. Could you hide me for a few minutes?" And he goes behind Eridan, and just Eridan stands there as large as he can.
She's quite large.
Yep.
Sinead continues frothing at the mouth.
It's all the ale, right? It's just the ale.
Feral Sinead sounds echo in the distance.
And at that same moment, the door bursts open, and the 4 thugs you saw earlier walk inside. Where'd he go to? We saw him come in here.
Oh, this is going to get quite interesting, isn't it? I fear we may not have to get involved.
Could be more entertaining than the bard, though.
True. It's strange how suddenly I have acquired an appetite.
I would have sat down to my back to the bar where the guy was standing, but now I will scooch my chair around the table to be able to watch this as I drink my ale.
Try not to stare, Mars. You are quite obvious.
I'm going to keep staring.
If it makes you feel any better, so is Sinead. But
I'm kind of just sitting there like.
Sinead's staring so hard that Krigga is going to absolutely try to switch their drinks. So she has the empty and he has the full.
can I make a perception check on that?
I feel like with this man, it would definitely be at disadvantage.
Listen, is there any time to waste an advantage? It's now. No, I would imagine she would let him, and she would sort of just like take the empty glass up and just keep doing that motion, not really realizing that she's not drinking anything.
She's a different kind of thirsty now.
Truly.
It's her drool that she's drinking back.
Listen, she was homeschooled. She was a homeschool girl. You know how homeschool girls are.
So, as the slugs approach Eridan, the tall man, you see him begin to hunch over, and his hands and feet contort and twist as sharp claws emerge from his fingertips. His face elongates into a snout with teeth razor sharp. His muscles bulge and grow, and his body shifts, snapping as he resembles a more lupin form. He begins to snap his teeth and advance towards these thugs while Cedric hides behind him.
What's the rest of the tavern doing? Just out of curiosity. This man just shapeshifted.
The rest of the tavern, they run to the farthest corner they can find, or they run out the building.
Nade's into it.
The halfling hides behind her bar. What are you guys doing during this, as you see this transformation?
I'm sipping on my ale. I'm just watching.
100%. Just calmly seated. Nimwe's eyes are just getting bigger and bigger, like, holy shit, that man's a wolf.
Yeah, as soon as Krigga sees the transformation, he's going to have to just drink the rest of the other beer. And then he's going to watch, but he expects to be drawn into it at any second.
You guys do notice kind of a sigh of relief on Marsander's like persona, like, whew. It's a good thing I didn't step outside.
Yeah. Sinead is beguiled.
Is this something that anyone would have seen before or be like even remotely familiar with?
Make a history check for me.
Marzander's also not looking the best right now. Health-wise.
That's a 15 for me.
Okay, so you recognize this as a werewolf. They are very rare, but they are the most common of the lycanthrope in the world. They usually stick together in packs, but there's there are the lone wolves out there.
A lone wolf, you say?
Yeah.
Oh no.
In London.
Curious.
Oh.
You're gonna be in horny jail by the end of this episode.
Listen, okay, I don't have to explain myself to you.
You certainly don't. But you might have to explain yourself to your dad.
No. No. Sure don't.
There is one strange thing about this, is that most werewolves have to be under a full moon to transform, but this man seems he could do it at will.
Can I do the thing? I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if
Do the thing. Do the thing.
What?
Do the thing.
I don't know if I can
Acquiesce.
do the thing.
No.
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 Oh, never mind. I can't do the thing. We haven't long rested, so never mind. I'm a
What
liar.
is it?
I was gonna try and do Eyes of the Grave and just see if there's any undead nearby, and just give Sinead a reason to get into this fight.
Good.
No, there's no undead nearby.
Well, never mind. Nothing.
What are the 4 guys who came in doing when they see the transformation?
Well, the 3 of the mooks are just kind of cowering in fear, while the leader is at least not completely in fear. He's definitely scared of what he's saying, but he will draw his sword in preparation for whatever's about to come for him.
Krigga's going to stand up and pull his mace, his big old hammer, and he's going to just walk right up to the guy with the sword, and he's going to be, "Look, laddie, it's a matter of principle that when I'm drinking and eating, there's been no fighting. And I don't think you want to be in this fight with that creature over there," and he points back over his shoulder. "So perhaps you should just wait outside for them to leave and just handle it where, I'm not eating and drinking." And then Krigga turns around and walks back to the table.
The 4 of them will look at each other, and without saying anything, they'll all quickly leave as fast as they can.
Krigga raises his arm. "Another round here." Beats on the table.
Well, that's one way of handling it. I will say, though, Krigga, you did spoil a bit of the fun.
More time for drinking, though.
I suppose.
The werewolf Eridan slowly begins to revert back to his former appearance. He'll say to Cedric, I can't do that very often. The more I do it, the more it cannot be reversed. There's only so many more times. Cedric will say to him, "Well, I'm so happy you helped me otherwise. Well then, shall we have some drinks, now that I have escaped death once again?"
Now's your chance.
It's gonna, she's gonna get up, empty tankard in hand, and she suddenly realizes that it's empty, and she'll say to the two men, "That was quite a thing that you did there. See, I don't know if I know what you're actually doing. Circumstances seem a bit odd now, but the new circumstances, well, I'm without a nail, and you're both without a nail. But would you maybe perhaps like to have a nail and then perhaps maybe answer some questions of mine? See, I'm not super familiar with everything out in the world that's outside of the temple in Skullcrag, and I have a lot of questions specifically for you." And she points to Aridin. That's his name, correct?
Did all his clothes rip off when he transformed, or
Yeah, did all his clothes rip off when he transformed?
No.
They're really good. Really good. You're rad. Good job.
You know, he was like a Hulk transformation where he just so happens to keep enough that he still has clothes on.
Then Sinead will be struggling a little bit. If there's any tattering happening.
I had this image of when you got done with that conversation, you pointed at him. Questions for you. You following that up with like, a mouth spritz.
No, she's just,
Yeah.
she's just like holding the empty tankard of ale, like googly-eyed, like. Yeah, do you want to come sit with me? Maybe we could talk privately without your friend here, and you can answer all my questions. Don't worry about him, or her, or other him. I would just like to have a conversation with you.
Well, you're a strange one, but I
I've
could
been
use
told.
some company.
Right? Outstanding. Bartender, can I have 2 ales, please? Did I do that right?
The halfling quickly brings up 2 drinks. One for you, one for Aridin.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. What if we sat all the way over there at that corner table, really far away from everybody else? Wouldn't that be good?
Lead the way.
Certainly. She'll like kind of march on over. She's sort of leggy, right? So she takes these like really wide, exaggerated steps, and she doesn't really mean to. She's just really awkward in this situation. And she'll like sit down and sort of like sit and like put one ale where he would be sitting as close to her as possible. And she's sat and looks very expectant.
Okay. As for Cedric, he decides he will take Sinead's spot between the 3 of you.
Oh, that's quite ballsy of him. Nimue looks to him and says, "I see we've ran into each other again."
Yes, and I will not forget it.
Yeah. She like looks to Krigga like, "This is your fault."
Krigg is already just hanging his shame and at the beautiful train wreck of his daughter trying to pick up her first guy. He is not sure to be proud, mortified. He doesn't even know what's happening right now. So this other dude sitting with him, not even gonna phase him right now.
Okay, so Krigga's gonna ignore him. Is Nimue gonna say anything to him? Anything else, I guess?
So, how do you know the man who is also a wolf?
Well, you see, I saved him one day. It was dark and stormy out, he was surrounded by guards. I distracted them just enough for him to escape. So, I thought he owed me a favor. That's why I came looking for him.
And you knew to find him here?
Yes, he spends most of his nights here.
Interesting. And he has no pack. I have read that others of his kind tend to stick together.
Oh, yes. He has a sister, but he doesn't really talk about her. I've never met her, but he talks about her all the time.
Interesting. I wonder what Sinead has to say to him. He looks at Krigga across the table and smiles.
Krigga's just gonna glare at you.
All right, Sinead, what do you ask him?
Well, that's quite a trick you got there. I've never seen anything quite like that. To be honest, maybe I've read about it in a book or two. I'm not sure. But why'd that happen?
It is a curse given to me.
Oh. That's quite sad. Well, it seems pretty strong of you. And you're awfully protective of your friend there. That's quite nice. I'm pretty protective of my friends too, and I can transform as well, but it's a little bit different, and I can't really yet. I haven't gotten that power yet. Am I talking too much?
You are talking just enough.
Oh, she swoons. She absolutely swoons. You see like a bright pink kind of like overtake her face and it like creeps up from her neck. And she sort of kind of looks down at her tankard and then looks back up at him and says, "Oh, well, that's quite nice of you to say. You said something about only being able to do that so much. What's that all about?"
Yes. I cannot control it. Not like my sister. Unlike her, if I use it too often, then I lose who I am.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
She's able to help me control myself, but I don't know where she is.
Oh, that's even sadder. Is she here in this city?
She went to speak with our father, the one who cursed us. That was months ago, and she hasn't returned.
And where might that be?
Deep within the king's forest, where no one can find you.
Well, perhaps we could help? Maybe?
And she sort of like kind of like glances over to the rest of the party.
It is not that easy.
Like Nimue can't hear you, but she just kind of like gives you like a thumbs up.
Sinead's kind of like is like, yeah, this is going well. And Sinead will sort of look back at him and say,
Well, you see, I don't think that life's really meant to be that easy. Otherwise, there'd really be no purpose in death.
That is true. How do you know so much?
Well, I'll tell you. I've been studying my whole life. Actually, this is technically my first adventure ever. I'm a cleric of Kelmvor, so I know quite a bit about death and passing to the right place and not coming back from death or undeath, or as otherwise known as necromancy, which is the absolute evil and bane of my life. But so that's what I studied in Skullcrag, the temple there. I know quite a bit of things, but I've never really had the practical application of them before. I think I'm talking too much again.
That just means you know a lot. You know more than you think.
Maybe.
Why have you stayed here in Suzale in the state it's in?
Oh, well, we sort of just got here. We're kind of on a big mission there. Have you ever heard of a Draco Lich?
I've heard tales, but I've never encountered one myself.
Yeah, well, apparently there is one, and I'm gonna kill it because I'm imbued with the power of Helpmore, and by my righteous divine right, I have to kill all things that are necromanced.
You seem very righteous in your cause.
Of course I am. You don't believe in necromancy, do you?
I do not hold such opinions on things I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, it is a blight on our world. There's nothing more evil than a necromancer. And there's nothing more evil than the undead. So I've kind of sort of made it my life mission to kill all of them. See, the thing is, I'd like to become a doom guide sometime, and they're really important to Kelmvor, and killing the undead and killing necromancers. So that's sort of what I've been doing now. But I've just started at doing it, so hopefully I do a good job at it.
You seem very wise for your age. I'm sure you will find what you're looking for.
Otherwise, I have no ability to show my face in any of the temples of Kelmvor, and that would be the greatest atrocity of them all. She sort of like stops and looks down, and she says, I don't know how to say this, and I've never really been in a situation before, and I've only read about it in a book that Krigga didn't let me read, but I snuck it anyway. You're very good looking.
You're fucking dead.
I do not care what I look like. But I'm just a beast within.
Well, that sort of puts us in an impasse now, doesn't it? Well, say, if you were to have some help finding your sister, how would I go about finding you to help you sooner or later?
It has been quite a while since I looked for my sister. All fruitless. If you wish to help me, I will accept it. I will be leaving shortly, within the next few days.
Right. Well, that gives me enough time to try and convince my friends here to try and help you. So hopefully I'm persuasive. Don't worry about what I said about the attractiveness thing. You can just forget that I said that. And she'll start taking a big chug of her drink.
If it is what you want to help me.
Well, it's sort of in my nature to help others. Being an ASMR and all.
We must bring Cedric along with us.
He seems like a lot of trouble. Are you sure that you're really meant to be friends with him?
Without me, he is dead.
Right. He doesn't seem very good at fighting.
He is not one to fight face to face, but in the shadows.
Wow. Well, that seems a bit odd. And she like sort of pats her mace and she says, I'm one to bash your skulls in. So, but that's just a personal opinion of mine.
I will call for you when I am set to leave.
Oh, well, that's quite good to hear. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
And you can answer as honestly as you feel the need to. And it won't hurt my feelings, I promise. Do you also find me very attractive? She looks very eager and hopeful. So if you crush her, Duro, I will cry.
Your beauty is not something I've seen before.
Probably on the account of being an ASMR. Have you met many ASMR before?
I don't suppose I have.
Okay. Well, now you have. Well, this has been a thrilling conversation. I think I should probably sit back with my friends again now. And she's gonna get up and just walk back over like she didn't have this conversation with him at all. And she's gonna look at
Wait. He's going to grab your arm.
She'll stop. She'll look at him.
Do not stay out at night.
Right? I'll remember that. I'll probably do anything you tell me to do. And then she'll, as soon as he lets go, she's just gonna walk right.
He's not done. He's not done.
Okay. Sorry. So I'm just very eager right now. I'm sweating.
For the black masks are out there looking for victims.
Oh, what are the black masks? She sits back down. She's very curious now. She'll say, because I could probably bash their skulls in.
They are a group of vampires who stalk the night.
Vampires, you say?
Yes. They
you remember
look for victims to give to their host.
Do you remember about a few minutes ago when I said that it is my life mission to kill all the undead?
Yes.
Well, I think I've got some work to do here.
He lets go of your arm.
She's gonna beeline back to the party and she's just gonna sit down and like she is like shaking. She's so like she's buzzing. And she's just gonna just take a big gulp of her ale.
Krigga's gonna pour enough of his ale into her ale to make sure she has a full ale now.
Yep.
He probably needs it.
So, Sinead, do you want to say anything to the party about what was just spoken about?
Yep. Sinead will sort of lean in and say, don't worry about the rest of the conversation, but a couple things. Apparently there's a bunch of vampires roaming around looking to capture people to feed to their host, and needless to say, I'm sure that you can all imagine my feelings on that, considering what transpired in Candlekeep. And then also, he needs some help finding his sister at some point, and he may call upon me to help him, but we've got to take Cedric with us. Sorry, Cedric, nothing against you. But If anybody would be interested in helping him, maybe just a short jaunt into some woods, no problem.
Do we know what happened to his sister?
Well, from the sounds of it, she went to go speak with their father.
And how long ago is this?
Did he say? It's been quite some time, right?
He said it's been several months since he's heard from her.
A few months since his last communication with her. So I would imagine he's quite worried about his sister.
While I imagine that's true, I do believe we are here for a greater purpose. For all of Cormyr.
Right? I just figured if we just had time to maybe squeeze that in as well. But if we don't, it's no problem, of course. But maybe if we did have time, then maybe we could squeeze that in.
God damn it, Bones. Well, how very considerate of you, Sinead. I'm sure there's no deeper motives here.
None. Why would you think that?
I wasn't.
Okay, great.
She kind of just gives like a telling grin.
But also the vampire situation, that seems pretty dire as well. So perhaps if we saw some vampires along the way throughout our journeys, we could stop for just a moment. It won't take me long to bash their skulls in.
I imagine we would take care of vampires if we were to be so unlucky to run across them. Of course, we would likely have to. I wonder if this ties into the other things that are happening here in Cormyr.
I'd imagine so.
Cedric will pipe up and say, I know a thing or two about vampires.
Why is that? How do you know?
I worked for him for a short mission or two.
Are you... Cedric? Have you been raised from the dead?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Not once.
Twice?
Nope.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
If it's vampires looking for, I know where to find them.
Well, how far out of the way of our current quest would that be to maybe go into their vampire nest and set them all on fire?
Sinead, do remember we have someone waiting on us.
Well, I just meant that if we had time along the way, of course.
Well, you see, they stay in the underbelly of the city.
Oh.
During the day, at night, they stalk the city looking for victims.
That's horrible. It's a horrible thing. Terrible.
Do you think that the vampires have anything to do with the tragedies that have befallen Cormyr?
Well, I couldn't say if they're a catalyst, but I know they've become more bold as the situation grows worse.
I would imagine that would embolden such creatures. I believe we should bring this up to the woman who we're supposed to speak to.
Agreed.
I'll also say that their leader, Silva, she's become more active as well. Quite some time she was hiding in the shadows, but as of recently, people have been seeing her more often.
Their leader?
Yes.
She wouldn't happen to have any deformities?
None that I could say. I've never seen her before.
Interesting. What others have?
These are mere rumors.
What about your friend, the wolf?
Oh, you mean Eridan? No, he wouldn't know.
I see. Turo, remind me of the woman's name who we're going to speak with.
It is Lady is a no, let's see, what is it?
Is it
Asmara? Asmara?
Yes,
Asmara.
yes, Lady Asmara.
Do you know anything of a woman named Lady Asmora?
Of course. She's the Lady of Evening Star.
Would I know what that is?
It's the town that you're going to.
Okay, that's the town.
Evening Star. Yep.
And that is all you know of her?
Well, I could say she's well liked among her people. A lot more than what we've got here.
I see. Sinead, did you say your friend is to go with us?
Well, I hadn't quite asked him that yet. But he said he would be leaving in a few days to look for his sister.
I see. I think we all should get some rest and make our way to the lady in the morning.
There seem to be many problems here, and I think holding our appointment with Asmara and gathering as much information as we can would be a more prudent first step than simply tackling some of these things that seem so out of place right away. So I agree.
Yes. I feel she likely has much information for us. Perhaps she can fill in some of the holes.
Indeed. Krigga turns a pointed look at Schnid. Shall we go up?
Sinead sort of looks at her ale and sloshes it around a bit and says,
I'm not quite that tired yet. Krigga, if you're tired, you can go on up and I'll meet you up there.
No. I'll finish drinking with you.
Oh, well, suddenly, she's gonna chug the rest of her ale. Suddenly I'm all done drinking then I guess we ought to go up
Okay,
and,
after you.
all right, then, and she'll, leave the tankard on the single bar top and she'll sort of look one last glance back at Eridan and then mosey on up.
All right.
Head hang low.
Krigga's off to bed too. Well, Krigga's off to bed. He doesn't know, what the hell she's going to do with her night, but he's going to bed. Now that he at least got her to commit to going to bed initially. We'll see.
See, indeed.
Mars will turn to Nimue. Shall we go up as well?
Yes, I'm quite tired from the day.
Okay, so the four of you head to the 2 rooms that you have rented. Inside, you'll find very simple accommodations. A bed made of a wooden frame with ropes as a mattress, and it has some straw for padding. Very simple. There's also a couple desks and some candles nearby you can light.
I'd imagine Mars and Nimue probably just go right to sleep.
Yeah. That's what you want to do.
Yep.
Krigga's going right to sleep.
Nate's gonna stay awake a little longer and just sort of pout over the circumstance.
You can like get out and find what you need to.
Technically, she doesn't need to do anything per se. No, she's gonna be really good. She doesn't want to sneak out, just in case Dad finds out. He'll be really mad. Plus, she doesn't want to, like, if she's gonna do anything, she'd be going to look for vampires, really. She doesn't want to do that by herself, so.
Okay. Let's see. So you wake up in the morning, bright and early, and you can smell bacon being made inside.
Standing.
You exit your rooms and find a completely empty space aside from the cook behind the bar.
No sign of Eridan.
No, he is not here.
No problem.
Why?
No reason.
Okay.
Just want to make sure he was okay, you know? He seemed very upset last night, so. Sinead's a very caring and kind person.
Okay. So you can rest. That was a short rest, by the way. So you can gain some hit points back if you need to. You guys want to eat food? I guess, yeah, you could.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a very basic meal of bacon and bread.
Yeah, Sinead will eat.
That's a solid meal.
Yeah,
Nimue picks at it per usual.
bird eater.
Exactly. I'm just
I'm
a little
also-
thing.
Yeah.
Mars is also having a full breakfast, and then whatever she doesn't eat, I eat.
Garbage disposal.
Yep.
I'm a growing boy, okay?
He's a big boy.
So you finish your meal and you step out of, you gather your things first. You step out and you find Eridan leaning against the building.
Oh no.
Does he look really cool?
Yeah, as cool as you've ever seen.
Wow. Amazing. Sinead will sort of kind of give like a sort of a sheepish wave to him.
I wanted to make sure you were safe throughout the night.
Oh, well, that's awfully nice of you. Bones wants to be all like girlish, like, oh, but Sinead's gonna say, but I wasn't really too concerned about it. See, most people think that I'm not that strong, but the thing about it is, I do have this, and she pats the mace again like she did the night before, and she says, and I have been trained to use it, so amongst other things that I'm gifted with and imbued with through the power of Kelmvor. But I appreciate it.
Of course. Are you staying in the city for much longer?
No, unfortunately not. We're heading off to meet a lady. Please remind me the name of the city. I know you just said it.
Evening Star.
We're heading over to see the Lady of Evening Star, to try and figure some things out that's going on here.
Well, I wish you luck. Maybe one day our paths will cross again.
I'll pray to Kelmvor every day for it. And she looks very, like, earnest in this response.
He taps his hat and gets up and goes about his business.
She stares
Milady.
longingly. she just stares as he walks away and for just a moment, and then looks back to the rest of the party and says, should we keep going then?
Only if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Mars will jokingly say, I had something in my head. Hold on. Sorry. Never mind. I forgot it.
It'll come back to you.
Damn it.
Nailed it.
Nimue stole it from you.
No, I would never.
All right, I think we'll go off to start the traveling to Evening Star then.
Okay, so as you are leaving Suzale, you are exiting through the main gate. And as you do so, you are stopped by 4 guards who are guarding the gate. One of them approaches you and says, "Pack inspection."
Inspection? What is the meaning of this?
Empty your bags.
Nimue just holds her bag out. She has nothing to hide.
Sinead will do the same, but she will take out her prayer wheel since it is quite ornate and delicate and does not want it to get broken or touched by anybody else.
Krigga will take his pack off and set it in the ground in front of them for them to inspect.
I'll do the same.
So they begin to rummage through your belongings when one of them, who is inspecting Nimue's pack, pulls out a small vial of green substance. Well, what do we have here? Poison? The guard hands it over to the others to look at.
Do I know what the fuck this is?
As to the best of your knowledge, you did not know that was in there.
Okay.
Can Krigga do an inside check to see if he saw them plant it?
It would have been You could do a perception check.
My passive perception is 13. Would I have caught it?
Let me see. You would not have seen anything.
I can assure you, guards, that I do not know what that vial is.
Well, it was found in your pack.
Yes. We were in a tavern not long ago. Someone could have placed it there. Can't even tell you what it is. Do you know what it is?
Looks to be scorpion poison.
Very interesting. I can't say that I've been anywhere with scorpion poison. I've been traveling with my companions here for some time.
You know this is illegal in Suzale.
I do not. I'm afraid I do not know the law here. But I can assure you we've hurt no one. And as I have said, I do not know where that came from.
Well, the law's the law.
And what is punishment for this poison?
10 years in jail. Unless I could be convinced otherwise.
Tell me, would a gold coin sate your greed?
Well, there's 4 of us here.
So 4 gold coins will sate your greed.
We'll turn a blind eye.
And you'll leave the
Or-
poison in my bag?
This is an illegal item. We must confiscate it.
What if I sweeten the deal with an extra gold coin?
Now, young Missy, this stuff is highly dangerous and extremely valuable on the black market.
The last time I checked, I do not believe you're my father.
What does that have to do with it?
I guess nothing. May I have my bag back, please?
He hands you back the bag.
She's gonna make sure all of her gold is still there. All 390 pieces.
Yes, they're all there.
She's gonna pull out 10 gold and hold it in her hand. 10 gold. And she holds the bag out in the other hand. You place the poison in my bag, and you never speak to me or my friends again. How does this sound?
We don't take orders from you.
It wasn't an order. It was a request. There's a difference.
He's going to snatch the gold from your hand.
And the poison?
He holds on to the poison.
Hmm. I'm gonna whisper something under my breath and cast Charm Person on this man.
Atta girl.
Okay.
That's a wisdom save, spell save of 12.
Okay, let me see what the spell says. Okay, so it appears, despite your best efforts, the spell does not have an effect on him.
She's gonna step in closer to him. Her bag is still being held out. Now, I did give you 10 gold, and all my friends here saw it. I do believe you should give me that poison back and pretend like you never saw it. Or I'm sure we could find someone that may frown on the fact that you're swindling poor adventurers and you're already broken down. I know you don't know who we are, but we've been sent here by very important people to take care of the things that are happening in Cormyr. I'm sure they would hate to hear of such horrible guards in their station.
Roll me an intimidation check.
I am going to use an advantage on this.
Okay.
That's a 16.
All right, so he says, now, we don't need to involve anyone else.
I would hate to do that, I'm sure. She shakes the bag a little. Come on, then.
He places the vial in your pouch.
Thank you kindly. Now, please do get out of our way. We have somewhere to go.
Okay, so they get out of the way after they inspect everyone else, but everyone else was fine.
That's the only time I'm ever going to roll a good intimidation.
What do you mean, you're warlock? You have high charisma.
This is true. This is true. But I'm definitely proficient in persuasion. I'm like 90 pounds soaking wet. I would like to say that as they get down, like as we get down the road a little bit, she's like whispering to Merlin, and Merlin's going to take flight and dive bomb that guard. He's not gonna like attack him, but he's gonna dive bomb him and give him a couple big calls like right in the face.
The guards, as they're being harassed by Merlin, they'll swing their swords wildly, but none of them hit.
Nimue just starts giggling as they're walking down the road. Those were
Krigga wanted.
Go ahead.
Krigga wanted so badly to help you with the intimidation. Like he wanted to seriously just get in their faces, but at the same time he was absolutely mesmerized by the way you were handling him. Had to see how it turned out.
What silly men. Such fools. But it seems as though we've acquired something new. I wonder where it came from. She kind of pulls it out of her bag and like turns it over in her hand as they're walking. Mars, I believe you may have better use of poisons than myself?
I'm sure I can find ways to use it, yes.
She's gonna pass it over to him. Now you heard the man. Be very careful. You are, in fact, no good to me dead.
I'll hold it, kind of shake it a little bit and put it in a pocket.
You might also beware that this just could be a ruse that they have used for a very long time, and it might not be anything.
You could roll a nature check to see what it is.
Me?
You just have to be you because you're holding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. Okay, well, this should be fun.
The super smart rogue.
21 together.
Shut up, boy.
Ew! Nailed it.
Shaking it always works.
He's like dipping his pinky in and
Yeah, I was gonna
tasting
say,
it.
taste it.
Yep, tongue's dead. Yep.
I think it
Okay.
is actually.
So this is giant scorpion venom.
Yeah.
It's harvested from dead or incapacitated giant scorpions. So it's a very powerful poison. It deals 40-10 poison damage if the creature doesn't save. So at this level, you could one-shot someone.
How many uses does that vial have?
It has one.
Do you share this with the class, Mars?
Mars probably wouldn't share that. He'd probably shake it and be like, "This does seem to be some sort of poison, but it could be useful in some situations."
Well, I hope so. I did pay 10 gold for it.
I will grab 10 gold and put it in your bag.
You didn't
Alright.
have to do that, Mars. I would have considered it a gift. But thank you.
As you're traveling down the road, Nimue specifically, you begin to hear strange, unidentifiable whispers enter your ear. It's coming from further beyond the road. But you do not see what is causing this.
Does anybody else hear that?
Hear what?
I do not hear anything.
Sounds like whispering. Sinead, can you hear the whispers?
I'm assuming Sinead does not.
Nope.
Sinead will sort of shake her head no and say, no, I'm sorry. I don't hear anything.
It seems to be coming from ahead.
After trying to pinpoint where it's coming from, you discern that it is coming from a nearby forest. Well, more like a grove, actually.
Okay. She
A
points
grove.
in the direction. I believe it's coming from over there. Marilyn, you should go see if there's anybody there. She's gonna let the bird take off as they're continuing down the road.
Ah,
Ah! I don't think he would be announcing his presence to the grove.
That's why I did it quiet.
Mental cause.
Merlin traverses through the grove and he finds a clearing where there's a yellow glow like a weak flame in the center of this clearing.
Like a flame. He doesn't see any people though.
No, he does not. But it's the only thing of note nearby.
I'm going to ask him to move in closer to the flame to see if he sees anything.
He moves in closer and he notices it is the glow of a spirit, the face twisted in horror.
Oh. There's a spirit in the woods. I'm not sure what to make of it. It looks scared. Sinead, I feel this is your territory.
Would I know anything about what she's describing? Would that like be familiar to me in any way?
I would say this is the first time you've encountered something like this.
Okay. Sinead will be sort of curious and look to Nimue and say, I'd like to go take a look at it.
Yes. Perhaps it could help us. Who knows?
Soon find out, I suppose.
Nimue
And,
will lead them towards it.
She will follow along.
Okay, so the four of you traverse through the grove and arrive at this ghostly appearance. It is it is a yellow, it looks like a yellow glow of a weak flame with its face twisted in horror. Nimue, you recognize this as your younger self who you encountered not too long ago. Well, in the bar in Baldur's Gate.
I am going to... Ari, how far from us is she now?
Let's say 100 feet or so. I will note that no one else can see this spirit.
Only I can. Oh, perfect.
Only you can.
Well, that actually makes me feel a bit better. You guys looking at Nimue kind of see this look of both shock and curiosity on her. And without saying anything, she just starts walking forward towards essentially nothing that you guys can see. And she's gonna slowly approach this figure.
As you get closer, the whispers become louder. You are not able to understand what she's saying.
How can this be? She's gonna continue to approach her.
The spirit stays stationary as you approach.
How are you here? You are me. She's gonna reach a hand out and try to, like, touch her.
You reach out, but your hand goes through her.
I'm gonna get, like, really close to her and put my, like, ear, like, up to this vision and really try to focus on discerning what she's saying if I can.
As you get closer, the voice becomes clearer. She says to you, "You've forgotten me, but I haven't forgotten you. The past is coming back to haunt you, and you can't escape it."
She is gonna take a few steps backwards. Don't know what you're talking about. What kind of sorcery this is. Do not wish to see you again. And she turns around and starts heading back to the group. Trying to collect herself before she gets to them, to the best of her ability.
Okay, so you arrive back with the party.
It's nothing. I saw nothing.
It looks like something.
She stays silent.
Does she look like visibly upset?
Yeah, she looks a little shaken. Like she's having a hard time kind of blowing that one off.
Sinead's gonna sort of give a quick glance to Krigga. Sort of one of those moments where it's like, mark this down. But she'll look back to Nimue and say, perhaps Merlin saw something like an old campfire, and you were mistaken.
Perhaps. I'm not quite sure what his eyes saw.
Well, let's keep moving then.
Yes.
No need to dwell on it.